If you can't kill a boss, no reason why you can't look like one. Moogle putting the wow in transmogs.
Really like this look for warriors. I guess black and red does work. Blackrock Pauldrons. This drops from your garrison, the Dwarven Bunker, or the War Mill for Horde. It's going to cost you some Iron Horde scraps to get the shoulder piece. Moving on, the chest, Steel Breaker's Embrace. Ulduar is the place. Rune Master Molgheim. 13% is the drop rate. The belt is going to spin us to a place called Ulduar. General Vezix. I think that's how you say his name. 23% is the drop rate, and you got to cling to hope that you get that belt. Moving on, the legs, part of the same tier set as the chest and belt. Ulduar is the place. XT002 Deconstructor is the dude who drops the clockwork leg plates. Got a dwarf who is caffeined up, Blackrock Greaves, your garrison, Dwarven Bunker, or your War Mill if you're Horde, so that's part of the same set as the shoulders, and I believe the legs and hands, not 100% sure though. No, the hands you get out of Tanan Jungle. Commander Kragoth is the dude who drops it. 35% is the drop rate for the hands. And the back is the Nightshade Cloak, Blackrock Spire. It's spammable. Burning Felguard, or you can buy it on the auction house. The head, Titan's Subjugator's Visage, the Burning Throne. Garathi bosses drop them, 12% on the drop rate. And the weapon is at a Blackrock Foundry. It's called Heart of the Mountain. Gonna start off with the shoulders, which are out of Tomb of Sargeras LFR version. The Desolate Host is the boss, 9% on the drop rate. Sticking with the Magthar Lady Orc, and we're gonna go with the chest next, which you could go with any brown chest, so I went with the Wormskull Breastplate out of Unkar Keep. Dalron, the controller, is the dude who drops it, or you could just buy it on the auction house. Moving on to a Kultiran, Soul Render's Great Bell, Tomb of Sargeras LFR. Kil'jaeden is the boss, kind of a low drop rate. Moving on, we're going to go back to Wrath of the Lich King. So the chest and the legs are from Wrath of the Lich King, and the rest of the stuff, pretty much the shoulders, the belt, the gloves, and the boots are from Legion. We have a Lady Elf, Night Elf that is, Spiked Terror Wake Great Boots. Tomb of Sargeras LFR version to get the boots. Moving on, the hands, Cliff Breaker Gauntlets. That's from Timeless Isle. That is a Timeless Plate Armor Cache, so that's pretty easy to pick up. The back is the Waycrest Guard's Cloak. Drusvar, it is a World Quest Cache Reward, Alliance only. The Tabard, Nightfall and Tabard, Suramar, First Arcanist, Thalrissa, and we got Exalted and 300 gold to get that Tabard. Moving on, the head, Steel Reinforced Caged Helm, which is from Dark Moon Isle, off of the some sort of boss there. And moving on, the weapon, Torch of the Dam, Black Temple, Essence of Anger. Gonna start off with the shoulders, which will bring you to Dragon Soul Heroic, Hagra the Stormbinder. The boss, 19% the drop rate for those blue shoulders from Cata. And we're going to stick with the human dude and show you the chest, Breastplate of Terminal End, Black Temple, Time Walking version, Inquisitor Meadow, kind of fair drop rate to pick up the chest. And the belt is the Grievous Gladiator's Girdle of Accuracy. And if you want to be very accurate on the Horde side, you're going to have to buy Prideful Gladiator's Girdle of Accuracy, same price though. Moving on to legs, Greaves of Mercurial Allegiance. I hope I said that right. I think I did. Burning Crusade, Varamathras, 11% drop rate. Moving on to an Undead and the feet, Knee Breaker Boots, Stormwind Ogremar, Valor Quartermaster, 275 gold to pick up the boots. And the hands, Masterwork Spirit Guard Gauntlets, Mop Level Blacksmithing. Check your local blacksmith or auction house. The back, Azure Silk Cape, Vanilla Level Tailoring. Check your tailor or auction house. Moving on, the August Sentinels Tabard is from the Vale of Eternal Blossoms. Basically, you need gold and a certain amount of rep. And the head, Colossal Dragonplate Helm, Dragon Soul Heroic War Master Blackhorn, 18% on the drop rate, and a dig in the weapon, Calamity's Edge, Hellfire Citadel Heroic, 14% drop rate. The shoulders are straight out of Wrath of the Lich King, Conquerors, Siegebreaker, Pauldrons, Ulduar, Yogg-Saron is the boss. Some talk about Yogg-Saron popping up again. We'll see in the next X-Pack within a week. Well, for some of you, you might already know what the next X-Pack is. Furious Gladiators, Plate, Chess Piece, Dalaran, Wrath of the Lich King version of Dalaran, Wrath of the Lich King PvP vendor. Looking at the dwarfs now, Wrathful Gladiators, Girdle of Victory, Dalaran, Wrath of the Lich King. Wrath of the Lich King vendor, 1 mark of honor so far. So we're sticking a little bit around the Wrath of the Lich King theme here. Furious Gladiators, Plate, Laggards, Dalaran, Wrath of the Lich King PvP vendor, 3 marks of honor. So a little bit of PvE and PvP tiers mixed in. You get the feat out of Ice Crown, but that is the zone. Iban Blade Quartermaster, gonna need rep and gold for that. Conquerors, Siegebreaker, Handguards, Ulduar, Cache of the Innovation. So the back is Alliance only, Sergeant's Heavy Cape if you hoard. You're out of luck, you're gonna get a red cloak, but you could find a brown one somewhere. Keepers of Time Tabard is BC, of course. Exalted rep and some gold for that Tabard. And the headpiece, Conquerors, Siegebreaker, Great Helm, Ulduar, Cache of Storms. Kind of a low drop rate on the headpiece. And the weapon brings you to Shattered Hull, so it's a dungeon, it's spammable, decent drop rate. Gonna start off with the shoulders, Primal Gladiators, Plate, Shoulders, WOD PvP vendor, 3 marks of honor to pick up those black and blue, which basically what Warriors dish out, black and blue. The chest, Spiderfang Carapace, Blackrock Depths, Hedron the Creeper. That's a little bit of a fight there where there's a chance of a few different bosses to spawn, so you might have to run it a few times till he pops up. The belt, Grievous Gladiators, Girdle of Accuracy, Prideful if you hoard, 1 mark of honor. Same price for both factions. Moving on, we're going to show you the legs, which are the Sentinel, Plate, Laggards, Ashenvale if you're Alliance. I believe it's Northern Barons if you're Horde. There's a Silver Wing Supply Officer, 28 gold. Basically, it's yours. Moving on, we have a Lady Night Elf showing the Primal Gladiators, War Boots of Cruelty. WOD PvP vendor, 2 marks of honor to get those boots. Doing the spin, the hands, Primal Gladiators, Plate, Gauntlets. WOD PvP vendor, 2 marks of honor. Pretty easy to pick up. The back is Death Chill Cloak, Wrath of the Lich King level tailoring. You can buy it on the auction house as well. The Tabard of the Lightbreaker, or the Lightbringer. The Lightbringer. It's a quest reward if someone does Ice Crown Citadel with someone with Shadowmourne. This quest pops up and that's how you get it. So you got to find someone who has Shadowmourne. And the weapon, speaking of weapons, as you can see, at Hellfire Citadel Heroic. Here's a bit of an interesting look. The shoulders you're going to get out of the Eternal Palace Heroic version. Blackwater Behemoth, 5% on the drop rate. Going to stick with a Lady Undead, and she's going to model the chest as well, which you can get from BFA PvP sources on the Alliance side. Dread Gladiators, Plate, Chest Piece. Eventually, I'm sure you'll be able to buy the individual or the entire set with marks of honor. The belt, the Last Stand Great Belt, Battle of Dazzle Ahar, various mobs, or you could just step up by it on the auction house. I believe there's a crafted version as well, I'm not 100% sure. Moving on, the legs are the Dread Gladiators leg plate armor, BFA PvP sources. Like I said, eventually you'll probably be able to buy the set for marks of honor or individual pieces. The feet are Sabatons of the Stalwart, which is the Eternal Palace Heroic Abysmal Commander Saivara, and we got about a fair drop rate on the boots. Moving on, the hands, you guessed it, this is from Ulduar. Might have not seen that coming. Wrath of the Lich King raid, free as Heroic Gift, 12% on the drop rate for those Wrath gloves. Moving on, the back, Gilded Thorian Cloak, Karazhan BC version, Terrestrian Illhoof, 17% on the drop rate. And the headpiece, Helm of Tempered Jade, Battle of Dazalahar. As you can see, the boss, and kind of a fair drop rate on the headpiece. Now the weapon, you got to buy the entire package of weapons in order to get this one. That's the way it works. If you're still listening up and until now, I want to say thank you for watching, and I'll close out by saying what I always say: whatever it is by you, whether it is morning, afternoon, or night, make your day epic.